The View are not doing well with the left's recent struggles.
The fact that we're policing speech because it makes people uncomfortable or they don't like it or it offends them, I don't think it's how it's done.
When there were cartoons when I was a kid and they would make fun of Italian, as a child, I felt like that was offensive. So I understand. I have empathy for people who don't like it. People who are doing this are not from minority groups. They're from majority groups. And so
every person at this table gets hate speech directed at them every day. No one is.
All right, I guess no one gets to finish the sentence here anymore. Okay.
No, I think the point Alyssa's making here is she is a free speech.
Don't speak for her. She speaks very well for herself.
No.
That is not true. That is not true.
That is not true. I don't want you.
Oh, she's calling them out.
I don't want people to call. Comedy needs to be able to push limits.
Listen, comedy does push limits, but be smarter in your comedy. You don't need to offend me to be funny. I don't need to offend you to be.
No, don't clap for that.
And so.
They're fighting on The View over free speech, ladies and gentlemen. Why are they melting down like this? They're melting down like this because Mark Zuckerberg has decided to kiss the ring. But not only kiss the ring, he's actually decided to blow the whistle on the Biden administration when it comes to Facebook and Meta, Facebook Meta overall, which is now Instagram as well. Censoring. The Biden administration forced him to censor, and The View, the ladies on The View, are melting down over that because of that exact fact that now free speech is about to be allowed. And free speech is free speech no matter what. There is no, you can argue with your mom about this, but there is no such thing as hate speech. It's just free speech. You choose to like it or not. It's just free speech. And here is a wild episode of Mark Zuckerberg right now on the Joe Rogan podcast, blowing the whistle on the Biden administration. Take a listen.
These people from the Biden administration would call up our team and like scream at them and curse. And it's like these documents it's all kind of out there.
Oh, did you record any of those phone calls?
I don't think we but I think
I want to listen.
I mean, there are emails, the emails are published. It's all kind of out there. And they're like, and basically it just got to this point where we were like, no, we're not gonna take down things that are true. That's ridiculous. They want us to take down this meme of Leonardo DiCaprio looking at a TV talking about how 10 years from now or something, you're going to see an ad that says, okay, if you took a COVID vaccine, you're eligible for, for this kind of payment, like this sort of like class action lawsuit type meme. And they're like, no, you have to take that down. And we just said, no, we're not going to take down humor and satire. We're not going to take down things that are true. And then at some point, I guess, I don't know, it flipped a bit. I mean, Biden, when he gave some statement at some point, I don't know if it was a press conference or.
As I'm recording this, I found the meme that he's talking about here. Here's the meme. The meme is 10 years from now, you will be watching TV and hear, did you or your loved one take the COVID vaccine? You may be entitled. Oh, this is what he was talking about. And the Biden administration were screaming at Mark Zuckerberg, the owner of Facebook, to take it down. Now, I don't trust this guy for 1 second. I don't trust this guy at all, actually. But that's insane.
To some journalists where it basically was like, these guys are killing people. And I don't know, then like all these different agencies and branches of government basically just like started investigating, coming after our company. It was brutal. It was brutal.
Wow.
So at the beginning, it kind of seemed like, okay, we should give a little bit of deference to the government and the health authorities on how we should play this. But when it went from, 2 weeks to flatten the curve to, and like in the beginning, it was like, okay, there aren't enough masks. Masks aren't that important. To then it's like, oh no, you have to wear a mask. And, everything was shifting around. It just became very difficult to kind of follow. And this really hit the most extreme, I'd say during the Biden administration when they were trying to roll out the vaccine program. And now I'm generally like pretty pro rolling out vaccines. I think on balance, the vaccines are more positive than negative. But I think that while they're trying to push that program, they also tried to censor anyone who is basically arguing against it. And they pushed us super hard to take down things that honestly were true, right? I mean, they basically pushed us and said, you know, anything that says that vaccines might have side effects, you basically need to take down.
Bro, YouTube did the same thing. That's crazy. I don't even know if I should be posting this on YouTube. I don't know if we should be posting this on YouTube. I mean, YouTube banned people for some of the most wackiest things. They demonetized my channel. They put me through hell. So I get it. I don't trust this guy one bit, but I can see where this could be true.
And I was just like, well, we're not going to do that. Like, we're clearly not going to do that. I mean, that is kind of inarguably true.
Who is they? Who's telling you to take down things that
it was
that talk about vaccine side effects?
It was people in the Biden administration.
Wow. He's blowing the whistle on this. And once again, the ladies on The View are not happy about this at all. Nobody is happy about this. Take a look at this of Mark Zuckerberg.
Says he's following the footsteps of ex-owner Elon Musk by getting rid of third-party fact-checking on the site. Now, here's what he said yesterday.
We've reached a point where it's just too many mistakes and too much censorship. The recent elections also feel like a cultural tipping point towards once again,
Man, I hope YouTube hears the same thing, man.
prioritizing speech. So we're going to get back to our roots and focus on reducing mistakes, simplifying our policies, and restoring free expression on our platforms. We're going to get rid of fact checkers and replace them with community notes, similar to X. We're going to simplify our content policies and get rid of a bunch of restrictions on topics like immigration and gender that are just out of touch with mainstream discourse. We used to have filters that scanned for any policy violation. Now we're going to focus those filters on tackling illegal and high severity violations. And for lower severity violations, we're going to rely on someone reporting an issue before we take action.
Oh boy.
They're mad about it. Yes, be mad, old ladies. Cackling hands of The View. Be mad about this. Please do. Because you deserve to be mad about it because, man, we are going to reap the benefits of this now. You know what happened for the last 4 years? We had to suffer through all this censorship. Your account, a lot of people in the comments watching, your account might have been taken down for saying something that they just didn't like, and that was coming from somewhere. Mark Zuckerberg says, allegedly, that it was coming from the Biden administration. Things that we already knew that are now confirmed. Man, leftist Democrats are taking so many losses after this election. They're taking so many losses, but let's hear out a few minutes, maybe less than that. I don't want to hear them talk, but just their reaction to this.
Curious because human rights activists warn that this is a major step back that'll have misinformation, conspiracy theories, and bigotry running wild on the site. My question is, when did fact-checking become a bad thing?
Since Donald Trump became president.
Yes.
Oh, we're going to blame Trump. Oh, no, we're going to blame Trump. These people, they don't want free speech. They want controlled speech. They don't want a government. They want dictatorship. That's crazy because they spend so much time projecting that that's what Trump wants to do. But if you look at Trump's actions, what he's done before and what he plans to do now has everything little to do with being a dictator. In fact, he wants to broaden out the stakes and give free speech to everybody. Elon did it on X. He's working with Trump. Mark Zuckerberg wants to do it on Facebook and Instagram. He's meeting with Trump. They want to do it because the administration is pro that. It's the same thing with crypto and Bitcoin. The Biden administration spent all this time trying to destroy it. Now Trump wants to, no regulations for this stuff. No regulations. Free speech is free speech. People want another way to make money because our government is spending our dollars badly and we're just trillions of dollars in debt. We don't believe in the future. We want to believe in something. So we buy Bitcoin. Guess who tried to destroy that? The last administration. Now this new administration is pro that. Next thing you know, the prices are going up. This is what it's all about, ladies and gentlemen. Now they want to blame Trump for this. It's pretty crazy.
Absolutely. I have to say, that the worst thing that he has done is cause this misinformation and lying going on.
Alternative facts.
This alternative facts that Kellyanne Conway,
Yes.
she said alternative facts. You know, this guy Zuckerberg, I saw the movie, wasn't it Social Network?
Yeah.
Where he says basically, I'm creating Facebook so people have a community, so that people can talk to each other. All of a sudden, it's become this big thing about, and a big
Oh, you wanted an echo chamber. That's what you ladies wanted. You wanted an echo chamber.
lying machine that's going on.
Yeah.
And, you know, the wokeness is what is at the bottom of this.
Yeah, I just want to say, I'm sorry. If being woke is a bad thing, that means that the fact that I care about you, regardless of what you say or who you are, I want to make sure your family is as well off as mine is. That's too woke. It's too woke for me to say to you, hey, listen, if your kids, you don't want your kids reading this, maybe the best thing to do is let's go to the library together and I'll tell the librarian what I don't mind my kids reading. And then you can tell the librarian what you don't want your kids to read. That's too woke.
Well, the new rules on Meta, Facebook, they're imperfect. I will say this. I think it's a balance between content moderation, free speech, and fact checking. And what I think Facebook has gotten wrong for some time is they've had third-party fact checkers, but then Facebook Meta would ultimately make a decision on can this content be on. Oftentimes fact checkers can't, or these staffers at Facebook can have biases. I actually think, listen, X has become a hellhole for a lot of reasons, but I think that community notes actually work. You have to cite your source.
Let me interrupt you. What does free speech have to do with fact checking?
Because it's imperfect. That's not.
People who are fact checking are probably super progressive and liberal, and they're doing opinion-based fact checking. It's not real.
It's as simple as the sky is blue, the grass is green. We know the facts on that. Sometimes it comes into opinions or viewpoints. This is still a town square. I tend to be a free speech absolutist as long as it's not harming someone else.
We know the difference between an opinion and a fact. We do it
but
every day.
a lot of this can be viewpoints where somebody could say, well, this is my viewpoint.
Right. Now, the people who are doing this are not from minority groups. They're from majority groups. And so
This is not me saying that every person at this table gets hate speech directed at them every day. No one is.
All right, I guess no one gets to finish a sentence here anymore. Okay.
No, I think the point Alyssa is making here is she is a free speech.
Don't speak for her. She speaks very well for herself.
No, but and I'm not doing
we
that.
We all act like we're for free speech when it's the things we like. When somebody wants to defend the free speech of people we disagree with,
that is not true. I don't want you.
Oh, she's calling them out.
I don't want people to comedy needs to be able to push limits.
Listen, comedy does push limits, but be smarter in your comedy. You don't need to offend me to be funny. I don't need to offend you to be.
No, don't clap for that.
And so there
tends to be offended.
He's breaking up the pieces of paper. Joy Behar is losing her mind.
Well, no, not questioning government. That's actually not necessarily true. The best comedy doesn't always tend to be offensive. It just doesn't.
Okay, the First Amendment doesn't apply to private companies, which is why I'm frustrated Mark Zuckerberg did this. But there are countries in Europe who have modified the way they're allowed to talk about people. I actually support some eliminations on hate speech, which makes me not an absolutist, but I'm okay with it.
Because there are things that we collectively can say. We respect everybody's right not to be called a name.
Man, shut up. And look, they're losing their body. Shout out to Alyssa. What's her name? Alyssa Griffin. Shout out to you. Being a free speech absolutist means that there is no holds bar. Everything's free speech. Allow that to take place and allow it to genuinely sink itself out. The bad will go away and the good will always prevail. It's the way we are. It's the way this nation is. But the more you try to suppress all the more hate it's just not going to work that way. Let it flush itself out genuinely because that'll tell us the state that the people are in and where we're at. But the fact that Mark Zuckerberg has to ring the bell and blow the whistle on the Biden administration, that should be the topic of conversation. Not that. And another thing about the minority groups thing, but versus the majority, they're the ones saying it. Man, stop. Racism right now is running wild in every community. No matter if you're white, black, Hispanic, Chinese, whatever part of Asia, whatever part of Africa you may be from, bro. Racism is running wild everywhere. I don't know what's going on. So don't try to just point out, oh, because we're doing that thing again, where we're just blaming white people for everything. I'm sick of that shit. I really am. I really am so sick of it. They do it, but we do it. We do it to each other. Literally. But anyways, make sure to smash the like button. Let me know what you guys think about all of this wild, crazy nonsense going on in the world. I'll see you guys on the next one. Cancel the view, by the way, please. Can we just get it over and done with?